Crap, that's loud. Good evening, everybody. This is Matt Kramer here. I hope I'm test one, test. Let me stop share real quick. Test 1, 2. Test 1, 2. Okay, yeah. Sorry about that. All right. This evening, I'm gonna do a couple things. First of all, I am gonna do a redo of an older video that unfortunately has no audio. So I'm going to redo 2 videos today. Should I do separate? Yeah, I'll do separate videos. The 2 videos I want to do with audio, good audio this time, is the best and worst of Star Trek and the best and worst of 24. So we're going to go to those videos and best of ranking of the best and worst 24. Huh? Best and worst episodes season 1 and 2. Oh, okay. Well. Oh, I didn't think. Okay. Let's see. Star Trek. Movies. Huh, no. Huh. Okay. Didn't. What the hell? Stand by. I gotta find this. Was it Star Trek or Star Wars? I thought I rated the best of Star Trek. Or was it the movies? Ranking. Look for that. Six. Ranking. Ah, shit. Rank. Oh, Star Trek films. Okay. Rank. That's the worst. Season 1 and 2. I didn't think I did that. Huh. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna start with Star Trek. And Star Trek. Begin with Star Trek, best TOS films, the original series, with Shatner, DeForest Kelly, Leonard Nimoy, James Doohan, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, the best one is The Voyage Home, where the captain and crew go back in time to, I think it's 1987, San Francisco, and they meet a oceanographer, I guess, who played by Catherine Hicks, who is in charge of 2 humpback whales, and Kirk and the crew need to take those whales back to the 23rd century to stop a alien probe from basically destroying Earth. And what makes it the best is the comedy in the movie. So I really like, and hopefully, not hopefully, I'm sure a lot of people um, Star Trek 4, The Voyage Home. The best Star Trek film, in my humble opinion, the best is Star Trek 6, The Undiscovered Country. It has to deal with the Klingons, and if you know me enough, you know how much I admire the Klingons since I saw Michael Dorn for the first time. Then you got The Search for Spock. Got The Search for Spock. The Search for Spock was actually pretty good. It is not the worst movie, thankfully. It is not the worst movie. In The Wrath of Khan, Spock saves the crew by sacrificing himself after their battle with Kang Noonien Singh, played by Ricardo Montalban. And I think the Reliant, Khan was taking command of the Reliant. Who's, I forget the captain's name, but the actor was Paul Winfield. I forget the captain's name. But anyway, Paul Winfield's ship was the Reliant, and that's where Chekhov was before he came back to the Enterprise, and the first Enterprise. So The Search for Spock was pretty good. Unfortunately, the character David Marcus, or David Marcus Kirk, was killed by Commander Kluge, played by Christopher Lloyd. And Kirk had a somewhat hatred / prejudice against Klingons since then. The Final Frontier was a little weird. The Final Frontier has to do with Spock having to face his stepbrother, or no, well, half brother, half brother, Sybok. Sybok has this kind of way of hit. I want to say it's hypnotizing, but very interesting film, weird film. And Sybok sends the crew to Shakari, where they believe they're going to meet God, which is not God at all, of course. Very weird film. Not the unfortunately, is not one of the best films that was done. But the worst film, in my humble opinion, the worst film is the motion picture. No fault of the actors necessarily. The plot was a little weird. Having Ilea, the character Ilea, killed and then resurrected, being the human representation of this alien life force, whatever. And they find this old 21st century satellite called Voyager 6, which they call V'ger because some of the letters were taken out, not taken out, but melted. Very weird film. Unfortunately for me, it is the worst original series film. Um, Going to TNG, the best film, and again, the funniest film. No, the funniest film was First Contact. The best film. Now, I'm thinking. Hold on. Generations. Um, TNG films, not crossover. Best TNG film is First Contact. First Contact has to do with the Borg and the meeting, the not official meeting. If you watch Enterprise, the meeting in 2063, according to T'Pol, um, the meeting between Zephyr Cochrane and the Vulcans is not the first official encounter with humanity, with an alien race. But First Contact is the best film. It had a very good plot, and James Cromwell plays Zephyr Cochrane. He is hilarious in this film. So I'm gonna give kudos to um, James. What's his name? I just had his name. Zephyr Cochrane. Um, oh God, for heaven's sake, James Cromwell. Yeah, I'm thinking James something else. I don't know why. James Cromwell. That's his name. Best film. He had Alice Cridge as the Queen, I believe. Very well done. Insurrection, not bad. Insurrection had to do with the Sona and the Baku. Not a bad film. I'm gonna give credit to F. Murray Abraham and Anthony Zerbe for that one. Unfortunately, the worst TNG film, the worst box office reception and fan reception is Nemesis. Unfortunately, Nemesis did not do well. It gave an ending to Data, Brent Spiner, that a lot of people didn't. I'm sure a lot of Star Trek fans did not like. Which is why so many fans love the first season. Not all of them. There are people who do not like season 1 of Star Trek Picard. I do. I did like season 1 of Star Trek Picard. Season 2, dealing with Q, it was cool to bring John Delancey back as Q, but what he did in season 2 of Picard was a little weird. A lot of people did not like. A lot of people. I'm emphasize bold, embolden the word lot. A lot of people did not like season 2 of Picard. And I'll do an analysis of Picard as well. But Nemesis is not the best film. It is honestly, for me, it is the worst. Okay, standalone or crossover. Crossover, you have to give it to Generations. You got Bill Shatner, James Doohan, Walter Koenig, coming back to Starfleet to not christen, but observe the maiden voyage of the Enterprise B, commandeered by Alan Ruck, also known as Cameron Fry from Ferris Bueller, as Captain John Harriman, Enterprise B. And unfortunately, the maiden voyage is cut short through a distress call by Lacoul, who are ferrying Elorians, and two very famous Elorians. One of them is Guinan. The other's Dr. Tolian Soren, played by Malcolm McDowell. It's a good film. Malcolm McDowell believes that he can find his family in a ribbon in space called the Nexus. And in the Nexus, it's like Narnia of C.S. Lewis fame. Narnia, when you go into Narnia, that almost no time passes in the real world, right? When you get into Narnia, same thing happens in the Nexus. Dr. Soren had somewhat of an alliance with the Lursa, the Duras sisters, which was cool to bring them back. And now I'm sure that one of the Duras sisters actresses passed away quite a few years ago. Star Trek of Gods and Men was not a bad made for fans film, I guess. Not fan made, but because it had it had Nichelle Nichols, it had John Harriman, I believe, was back. Kone was back as Admiral Chekhov. They had someone playing Jason 10. No, not Jason. Charlie 10, who had somewhat power with the Guardian of Forever, I think. What the hell is going on right now? So that I have to see that film again. God damn it. I'm not doing anything. Cancel. I'm sorry that my system's going wacko. Let's keep going. For the Kelvin timeline films, the best film is the first one. Hands down, the best one. It was best because the new actors. What the fuck is going on? No, wait for pro. Stupid. Ugh. Okay, here we go. Sorry. The best Kelvin timeline film is the first one. The actors, Chris Pine, Zachary Quinto, not Quinto, Quinto. Sorry. The late, great Anton Yelchin, Simon Pegg, Zoe Zadana, etc., etc., etc. All the John Cho, they all did it really good. And what I really liked is Bruce Greenwood as Captain Pike. Very cool to see him as Captain Pike. So that's good. Into Darkness had a newer, somewhat. Of course, we know it's an alternate reality, but it had a totally different portrayal of Khan Noonien Singh by Benedict Cumberbatch. And I'm sure a lot of fans did not take kindly to that. Um, no fault of Benedict, of course. He's an incredible actor, but it it's the reverse. Unfortunately, it's almost the reverse of the Wrath of Khan. Total reverse, and you see it toward the end of the film. Well, what's cool in having in this film, you had Peter Weller, Peter Weller, who was RoboCop back in the day. You had Bruce Greenwood again. Um, and of course you had Benedict. That's not bad, but it's not, unfortunately it's not the best film either. Sorry to say. Star Trek Beyond, sadly, is the last film, one of the last films of Anton Yelchin. Everyone knows that. Um, there was an officer who, because the officer's name, he's played by Idris Elba. The one thing I like about Beyond Star Trek Beyond is the makeup work for Jayla and Kroll. Kroll, I think his name is. Um, very well done in the makeup department in that. Well done. Unfortunately, it's Anton Yelchin's last film, one of his last films. Uh, and I don't think they know what the heck to do with Star Trek 4 if they ever do one. There's talks, and certain actors are, according to some sites, actors are opening up on what the heck is going on. But we're not sure. I wrote a couple of treatments to a possible alternate Kelvin timeline on my fan fiction page. So that is that's that in terms of Star Trek films. I'm going to do next. I'm going to do the best and worst of 24. So I'll be back. Have a great day.